Hello and welcome to the Lost Finds Workshop. I'm JC Jensen. So here we are, episode 12 of Build a Classic Dresser. In this episode, we are going to build out the base. So as you can see, I've got the base fabricated here, and we'll go over how I did that. My case is upside down, and so here is the cherry case itself with the base frame, allowing for wood movement with the slotted holes, if you'll remember, attached. And then here's our case. So how did I derive the case or the base? Well, for the length, flip this over for you. To establish the length of the front of the base, it's the width of the case plus 3/8 of an inch on each side. The reason for that overhang is for the trim. So the trim that we made last episode works out is 3/8 of an inch wide or thick, and as it attaches to the front, and the two sides, you can see it's going to rest on the base itself and be flush, and then ties in. It covers the base frame and gives us this nice, real nice transition into the case. The same on the sides. So I've got that 3/8 overhang in the front and on the two sides, and it's completely flush on the back. There's no trim back there. So to establish that, it was the width of the case plus the overhang for each side. That gave me the length for the front. And then for the back, it was the 3/8 overhang to the front, flush to the back, gave me the length to the two sides, of course minus the thickness of the front edge because of our half-blind dovetails. And then the back piece is just inside to inside measurement, cut to length, and this is simply a butt joint here on the back. All right, let me move over here to the bench. Okay, so I'm not giving you the play-by-play on the construction of the base, as much of what I have already done was incorporated into this. So we talked about the length, determining the length of our pieces. The joinery that I used for this, oh yeah, we've got this is the Gothic detail I told you I was incorporating. These were cut on a CNC while the piece was still square. So I got that, I cut it to length, did my CNC work, and then I moved into joinery. So for this one, I'm using the half-blind method, using that offset, the same offset method that I did in episode, was it 5, 6, and 7 for the half-blind dovetails of the case. Same. So if you need to see that again, just jump back a few episodes and you'll find it. In the back, it's simply a butt joint. And I cheated, so it's glued, and then I shot 3 brads in the end, hold it together. Mainly waiting for the glue to dry. Okay, so that takes care of the frame itself. Inside of this, you'll see I talked about we're going to have this backer block. Now, some guys just do it as glued blocks in sections, but I still had maple cut off from doing the case, so I just cut off strips of it, and it's 3/4 of an inch wide this way and 1/2 inch thick. With that, and that's simply glued on to the back side, and then again I just shot some brads in here so I didn't have to monkey with a bunch of clamps. Prior to gluing it on, I pre-drilled all of our holes here, which will attach it, screw it down to the base frame itself. And then lastly, in a lot of bases, folks will use backer blocks in these corners to reinforce the corners. Well, this is a half blind dovetail. It's not coming apart. It doesn't need any help. However, in the back, I did incorporate some, I'll call them backer blocks, to reinforce this butt jointed corner. And it's simply glued in. There's no other fasteners. The only thing that I did special, or that I paid attention to really, is ensuring it wasn't going to interfere with any of my attachment screws. And then the grain of the block runs parallel to the base block. So as this expands and contracts up and down, the grain with this same grain orientation, it can expand and contract together. Groovy? Okay, so the only thing that is left at this point now is to simply attach the base. Last note, when putting these backer blocks in, I made sure that they were either flush or just ever so slightly below this base rail, so that it's not pushing the rail up. We want a nice tight fit, seamless across as it attaches to the case. So, you know, make sure it's either perfectly flush or slightly, ever so slightly below, and it'll meet up. All right, so now I've got it resting in its position on top. For alignment, I simply use the trim as my guide by setting it in here, flushing everything up. So we have that nice transition, that on the front, and then I use it again over here on the side. Same smell. So I get this nice, so it's nice and flush. Checked it on both sides, clamped it in place. Now all I got to do is run my screws. So with the assembly of the base done, we can now just simply attach it to the base frame. So I've lined it all up, all the way around. I use the my trim to verify that all the alignment is perfect. Went back through the pre-drilled holes and drilled holes, pre-drilled holes into the frame. So all I got left to do is run some screws. Of course, I clamped it down nice and tight so it doesn't move. So along the front edge, I've got 6 screws. And along the 2 sides, there's 3 each. And there we go. Right, verify is nice and flat and seamless across the bottom, that mating edge. So now we can turn it over. I could put the trim on now, but I'm going to do some finish sanding prior to that, and then I'll put the trim on and make sure everything blends. I'm going to knock off all these sharp edges and whatnot. So that's it. The base is on. Let me give you a view. I'm going to do selfie mode here. Sorry. So looking at it, the sub base, or the bottom, the frame, and then our backer is screwed to the frame, which is screwed to the base, and then there you go. that's kind of what we look like with the corner blocks. We're all in good shape. Groovy, groovy, groovy. So guess what's next? We are ready to start the journey of drawer box making. And we'll start on that next time. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. Hey, we'll see you down the road.